And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to All Sports Western New York. Your old buddy Bob Kaczynski. Back on a Tuesday night. Another great show lined up for you tonight. And what a week it had been since last week. And to talk about it in studio, we'll have Art Wander, the tiny tot of the kilowatt, a member of the Buffalo Broadcasting Hall of Fame. He'll be talking about the Pegula ownership of the Buffalo Bills. And, of course, later on in the program, we'll also show some of the tribute to Ralph Wilson that took place out at Shays. This is yet to be aired on any broadcast outlet, so you're going to see that exclusively tonight. But first, let's talk about the big win Sunday over the Miami Dolphins. And one of the players who's really contributed to the Buffalo Bills since arriving back in his hometown is Corey Graham, the cornerback who had another outstanding game. That was one of the topics of discussions last night on the Bucky and Sully show.
How much do you think that Corey Graham and Brandon Spikes have to do with that? These guys, they're veteran players who've played on really good teams. You know, there's always this idea that you learn how to win, that you know how to win. Some of that maybe was coming along last year, and maybe if you inject a little bit more, it takes on a new attitude. Is there anything to that?
Bucky, I think it matters. And you know, you've written and heard about it in hockey, putting a guy in the room that's won the cup. Graham has won the Super Bowl. Spikes has played in a lot of big games. He's been a leader on a Bill Belichick team. I think Fred Jackson, who will be in here later, and Kyle Williams, the two great veteran leaders on this team who burned so badly to win, needed a couple of guys like that, I think, to supplement them in the leadership role in the team, because I thought the leadership behind them was pretty weak last year.
Bucky Sully every Monday and Friday, live, 6:30, exclusively on WBBZ-TV. Well, last night was another live edition of the Fred Jackson Show, every Monday night, live at 7 o'clock. And Fred's guest this week was rookie wide receiver Sammy Watkins. And Sammy had a heck of a game Sunday, and the team captain talked about the contribution by the new rookie.
It hasn't been like that in a long time, and I think if we continue to come out, you know, and make plays and have a guy that's as special as you are on this team making plays for us, we can expect it to be like that. So I need for you to keep doing what you're doing. You know, you're going to make my job easier, and, you know, we can get this thing turned around.
And, of course, the Fred Jackson Show, Mondays live at 7 o'clock, re-airs 11 p.m. Monday night and 9 a.m. Tuesday morning right here on WBBZ-TV. Well, Doug Marrone had a chance to size up the game, talk about the contribution. It was a special teams, defense, and offense all contributing to the victory, but he also talked about the crowd and how the 12th man added to the win for the Bills.
I think since the day I've gotten here, our team has been impacted by the energy at the stadium. I really do. I thought that, you know, even when you go back to last year, you know, we played, you know, very well at home. We lost an overtime game. You know, we lost our first game that we had an opportunity to win with a lead in the fourth quarter. So I think this is a very, very difficult place to play. I've always said that. Yesterday was even more so, you know. That was even more so with, you know, the fans and the impact. And, you know, we were happy to be able to do our part, you know, to make it an exciting day for everyone, because there's a lot of people that worked extremely hard, you know, for this stadium to be open. You know, the operations people, the people that redid a lot of things in the stadium. Obviously, with the ownership situation, you know, there was a lot of positives going on, and we were able to, you know, end the day the right way, you know, with a win.
Now, there's been some criticism by some of the local media of Doug Marrone for playing C.J. Spiller on kickoff returns. And Sunday, as Spiller on the very first kickoff left the field and he was being looked at on the sidelines, and I could hear some of my counterparts in the media criticizing Marrone for putting his star running back out there on the field for a kickoff return. Well, then a little later on, when Spiller returned one for 102 yards for a touchdown, it was a little different story. So yesterday, Doug Marrone talked about the fact that he's playing starters, both defensive and offensive, on special teams, and why.
There's, you know, about 30-somethings in positions, you know, on special teams, and, you know, you have 4 or 5. You know, sometimes you can have 6 core players that can play the majority of those 4. Then when all of a sudden now, due to injuries, you start having to watch out about those snap counts, you know, with everyone. But, you know, we do have starters on most of the teams, you know, at least one phase of it. And for those guys, you know, for Robert Woods to go down there and make that play, which was a great play, we pointed that out to the team. Brandon Spikes block for C.J. Spiller, you know, we pointed that out. Leotis coming from 50-something yards downfield, to be in the mix on the block punt, and I think that just goes to show the type of effort that our starters are giving on special teams, which I think is important. Obviously, Corey Graham, is playing all over the place. So those players are, again, you can sit there and preach that as a coach, but when those players go out there and the rest of the team can see it on the field, that'll make you better on teams. And we've been playing well on special teams right now, and we need to keep going.
And Doug Marrone talking after that big win over the Miami Dolphins. Of course, San Diego Chargers coming into town this week. Chargers coming off a big win over Seattle, so it should be another Rockin' Ralph come Sunday out here at One Bills Drive. Hey, we're going to be back. More of All Sports Western New York right after this.